Stay positive and turn on the part of life that would make you more excited about things. Because guess what? Not only if you make you happy. 7:31 a.m. That's what the time is. Welcome. Good morning to you if you're listening from this time zone. And whatever time of day it is, wherever it is you're listening to me from, if you're listening online, I want to welcome you specially. Thank you very much for joining me today. It is time to see news from around Africa. I am Didi, and it is Citizen FM 93.7. So, today on news from across Africa, we're going, it's like a full trip around Africa because we're going from Rwanda to Kenya to Ivory Coast to South Africa, basically anywhere the news is happening. So where do we start? Nigeria? Yeah, because there's something. Well, Nigeria has a full hour, so let me not rush things. Let's take it slow, right? Let's not rush it because we have a whole lot to talk about. A lot happened yesterday. River State is angry. God, I beg you. Okay, so let us begin from Kenya, where the Dutch king had a state visit there, and he was highlighting human rights situation during his state visit. So the Dutch king referred to the human rights of Kenyans during a state visit where he met with the people, and coincidentally, that visit coincided with mounting allegations of human rights abuses. In fact, this is what he said. He said, "I am pleased that our country's strong and mature relationship allows us to devote attention during this visit to issues like human rights, to issues like good governance and accountability." More than 20,000 Kenyans signed a petition on a website earlier, change.org, asking the King Willem Alexander, and the Queen Maxima to reconsider their visit. But guess what? They did it. They made it happen. They were there live in person. And, of course, the president was on ground to receive them. That's President William Ruto. Let's hear how it went.
With a population whose average age is 20, your country is fortunate that it can rely on the ideas and energies of millions of young citizens. The people of Kenya, like those of the Netherlands, want their rights as free citizens to be respected and their voices to be heard. I'm pleased that our country's strong and mature relationship allows us to devote attention during this visit to issues like human rights, good governance, and accountability.
And that's the King of Netherlands, King Willem Alexander, speaking there. Well, the Dutch government last month said that it received more than 300 emails asking for the cancellation of that visit. But it proceeded as scheduled. The Dutch royals arrived, and they scheduled the visit to be for 3 days. So I think about today they'll be leaving Kenya. He was honored with a 21-gun salute and inspected an honor guard at Kenyan President William Ruto's office just yesterday morning. So today it's going to be day 3, and they'll be wrapping things up. Well, if you do remember, there have been protests in Kenya in recent times, Nairobi particularly, where they have accused the government of arresting and detaining critics, especially after the June 2024 anti-government protests, during which protesters stormed the parliament over new taxes that were passed by the legislators. You need to watch videos and see what happened during the period. It was let me just say something that you need to see. Well, there have also been accusations on the Kenyan government on how that there have been wanton need to crack down on demonstrators, and they're also trying to, cripple free speech in the country. The country also saw state-linked abductions of young men, social media posts that people saw offensive, or that the state saw offensive to the president. We have about 20,000 Kenyans signing a petition and asking that state visit does not happen. But guess what? It did happen, and the president is happy. And of course, it's always about what side of the divide that you're on. You cannot have everybody not like something, and you cannot have everybody like something. Let's hear what the president himself had to say. President William Ruto of Kenya.
A strategic partnership dating back to 1964. Over the decades, this relationship has evolved, driven by mutual respect, common aspirations, and a shared vision for a greener, more sustainable, and prosperous future. We held discussions to deepen cooperation in agriculture, trade, tourism, climate action, and regional security.
And that's the president giving us an insight on what they discussed: trade, investment, agriculture between the Netherlands and Kenya. Moving on now, let's see what's happening in other parts of Africa. We should take a minute to stay around Kenya for a bit. And WHO has released another report, and Nigeria has been mentioned. 8 countries, 6 of them are in Africa, including Nigeria, Kenya, Lesotho. Those 3 Africa where stakeholders and members of parliament as well as presidents of nations met in Rwanda the other day, talking about how that Africa needs to begin to do something for herself. Well, we know that, yes, there will be disruption to HIV programs. There's going to be, something that you're practically accustomed to, and there is a swift change in motion. It'll take you a while before you would find your footings again, to adjust your step and catch your breath and all of that. But we do know that when we do catch our breath, we'll hit the ground running. Well, WHO Chief Ghebreyesus has warned that whatever Africa is doing, she needs to do it really fast, because if we run out of the drugs that we have right now, it could lead to more than 10 million additional cases of HIV and 3 million HIV-related deaths. People could die in their millions. And he noted that this was more than triple the number of deaths that was recorded last year. The numbers, again, the countries that have been mentioned again: Nigeria, Kenya, Lesotho, South Sudan, Burkina Faso, and Mali. These are the ones in Africa. Other parts of the world, we're hearing Haiti and Ukraine. But we know that, well, let's see how this thing goes. With warnings like this, it just makes, the officials to keep their legs on the pedal, keep it moving, and let's see what we can do within the time that we have before we begin to record these catastrophic deaths or these predictions that WHO and other parts of other organizations may be raising at this time. But we do know that we got our grip on this by the grace. Now, South Africa, what is happening there? Well, 2 Souths I have news from South Sudan and, of course, South Africa. So there's been a report of a girl missing in South Sudan. South Africa, I keep missing it up. It's just this morning, forgive me. Jocelyn Smith. It was really sad that she went missing last month, February, when she had just turned about 6 years old. She disappeared. She was allegedly sought by traditional healer for her eyes and for her fair complexion. That's what a court has heard. So when she went missing, the case was taken to court, and there have been allegations, a lot of them, that this particular case has orchestrating her kidnapping. Her mother was accused of orchestrating her kidnapping. Her family. It's really sad, you see. Her mother and her boyfriend and their friend were the accused. Well, so far they've pleaded not guilty to charges of human trafficking and kidnapping. What is the accused? Along really, really light skin. And in some parts of South Africa, these are endangered humans. They're believed to have some spiritual powers that when parts of their bodies are used for charms, that they work twice as much or even 50 times as much. Well, the little girl was kidnapped outside her home, delivered and exchanged a 6-year-old girl and lied about her disappearance. Well, it's in its third week, that's the trial. During the first week of the trial, the court heard details about the day Jocelyn went missing, including that the mother only alerted the police more than 6 hours after she had first noticed that the girl had disappeared. The pastor was willing to accept a lower figure if pushing comes to shove. Jocelyn's teacher, too, also said in court that the mother of the child had told her during the search that her daughter was already on a ship inside a container and that they were on their way to West Africa from South Africa. The mother herself said that. Now, these revelations, of course, would pale in comparison to the explosive details that see what really happens. A 6-year-old girl sold by her own parent in South Africa. This is really, really, really chilling. And to the other South that I had details on, South Sudan. A major party in South Sudan's coalition, as relations between its leader and the president have deteriorated amid clashes and arrests. The agreement was working very well until the relationship between the leader of, the coalition government and the president fell apart. The agreement lasted for about 5 years. It was doing really well. The forces loyal to the president and his rival Machar, who now serve as first vice president leading the SPLM-IO party. The two men have a fractious relationship, and it has worsened in recent weeks following clashes in the country's eastern part, that's of South Sudan. Now, with the deterioration of the agreement, we know that things will not... it's going to be very thin. Peace in the area is going to be really thin right now. The government has accused the SPLM-IO of links with the White Army, which mostly comprises armed Nuer youths that fought against, the Machar's faction way back in 2013. It was between 2013 and 2018, if you follow history right. Anyway, so far so good. The party has denied the allegations, but we do know that it's getting thinner. The peace in the region or the area is getting thinner right now, and we're hoping that it does not deteriorate beyond what it is right now. This is what an official